Bonjour à tous et à toutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure for us to welcome all of you here in this beautiful place. For journalists who've come from all over Europe, it's a great pleasure and a sense of pride for me to be with you to present a very important car for the Renault brand. It will be driving onto the stage very soon. It's the all-new D-segment saloon, the Talisman. Before we start the presentations, let me tell you exactly what we're going to do this afternoon. Of course, there's going to be an introduction with the CEO of the Renault Group, Mr. Carlos Ghosn. Then we have Laurens Vandenacker, who will talk to us very passionately about the design of the Talisman. And then we will look at the main features of the Talisman, which will be described by Mr. Ghosn. And then we'll take some questions. And after the Q&A session, we'll have a photo session with Mr. Carlos Ghosn and with Mr. Vandenacker. And when the car drives onto the stage, I would like the photographers, please, to not come closer to the stage. Please stay seated, and at the end of the presentation, you will be able to come up and take some photographs. And at the end of that, we will ask you to take a look at the specific features of the car in some theme-based workshops on my left and right. And now let's welcome Mr. Carlos Ghosn.
Bonjour, Monsieur Carlos Ghosn.
Bonjour.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ghosn. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm extremely happy to be here with you today to present our all-new product, the Renault Talisman. With this vehicle, we are going to continue the renewal of our top-range cars, and after the new Espace, which we launched in the month of April, our offer is now going to be enriched with the new D-segment sedan. This segment is, of course, accounts for both brand image as well as sales, and the crossovers and SUVs are making a breakthrough, but in an automotive market that is growing, the big sedans are still a must for all car makers. They represent a worldwide market of 8 million units per year, including 1 million in Europe. Now, who are they for? For mature customers who, for themselves and for their families, are looking for comfort, high performance, high quality, and of course, safety. With the Talisman, Renault has wished to fulfill all of these needs and to go even further, in terms of comfort, in terms of technologies, and all of this, while at the same time, of course, adding a touch of warmth. On a very conventional segment, we wanted to go beyond the expected styling cues by proposing a car that was really devoted to well-being and to driving pleasure. I would like to invite you to discover its universe. Please watch this.
vous plaît.
Yes, let's have a warm hand. What a great arrival. Thank you very much, Mr. Gone. You have the floor. Yes, now with the Renault Talisman, we wanted to give you a very refined sedan with a very assertive design, with balanced volumes and with harmonious proportions. But I would like to point out to begin with that the Talisman is a car that has been designed and manufactured in France. The project was developed in our techno center in Guyancourt. And just like the new Espace, Renault Talisman, of course, has also taken advantage of the very high performance quality control and experience that we acquired with our partner Daimler during the industrial process. This car will be manufactured in our plant in Douai, into which we have invested 420 million euros in order to ensure that all of our top range cars come out with the blameless quality, perfect quality. And the design respects the fundamentals of the segment while at the same time reflecting the warm and friendly DNA of the Renault brand. So Talisman has style, but it also has heart. Now, to present this unique mixture, I would like to give the floor to our Director of Design, Laurens van den Akker. Thank you, Mr. Goons. Mr. Laurens van den Akker, please do come up and join us here. Well, first of all, Laurens, congratulations. It's such a beautiful car. You have to tell us all about the design of this car. How did you manage to make such a beautiful car? Well, thank you very much, Margot. Good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure for me to be here with all of you. Now, to make a beautiful car, first of all, the first thing you have to do is to create a wow effect. And I think that so far that's worked. The car has to be attractive as soon as you look at it. And after that, of course, behind this beauty, you need substance. And that substance comes in, first of all, with wonderful proportions. The Talisman has been able to take advantage of a great new platform that has very generous proportions, 4 meters 85 in length, 1 meter 87 in width, and a big wheelbase and big wheels. That is the base on which we were able to really create a very elegant and sleek car. Well, it has a lot of presence as well. Yes, because it really is a three-box car. The car is naturally balanced, no matter which angle you look at it from. Its sides really underlie the horizontality of the car with a quarter light that also reinforces this very sleek aspect. And then its front face clearly shows a strong personality, and it presents a very powerful features, for example, with a chrome and a very assertive radiator grille and a very serious and high-tech look with its LED headlights. Now, how did your team design all these volumes? Well, the team really put the accent on the balance of the masses on one side and the quality of volumes as well. So we really pulled the lines out horizontally to ensure that the body was really sitting down visually on the road without, of course, imperiling the headroom or the inside room. We were able to guarantee a very spacious room in its inside, and Talisman has these very highly marked shoulders, and the volumes are very smooth and sculptured, and we have sharp creases on the bonnet and on the sides, and so we have dynamism. But you need fundamentals. How did you manage to respect the codes of the segment? Well, the fundamentals of this segment are very much present on the Talisman. We put all the weights on the wheels, and there's a ratio of 1/3, 2/3 between the glazed surfaces and the metal surfaces. That's been respected. We also have quite a short front overhang, 96 centimeters only, and we have a long wheelbase of 2 meters 81. Now, the bonnet that has been lengthened and the A-pillar that's been pushed back make the silhouette much more dynamic, and big wheels, which are up to 19 inches, can really follow very closely the wheel arches. And actually, the stylistic genes of Renault have made the Talisman more fluid and more sensual. Wonderful. And how did you find these genes of the Renault design? Well, you can immediately tell that it's a Renault thanks to its front face and also thanks to our new light signature with the daytime running lights in the C shape that is very, very easy to identify. The shape is very warm, very sensual, very sculpted, but the profile has been enriched and made more dynamic by the use of chrome. No matter which angle you look at it from, it seems ready to pounce. This car is very well muscled. At the same time, it's prestigious and elegant, and it recalls the stylistic language of sports cars, especially with the symmetrical twin exhausts that really underline driving pleasure. The rear, which is low and well muscled, is also characterized by its rear lamps that that extend horizontally towards the center of the boot, and they also give the car a great base, and they highlight the Renault Diamond. And with their light guides in 3D, they give the Talisman a very easy to recognize visual identity. Now you'll be able to recognize a Renault from far away, not just from the front, but also from the rear. So the interior really is all about well-being, and it may be a little too hot to sit in the car, but these are very strong values of the Renault brand. What are the main advantages that give the Renault Talisman all of its credibility? Mr. Van den Acker, well, first of all, it's a very warm, roomy, and high-quality cabin with high technologies and very intuitive use. You can visually divide the inside into 3 horizontal strata. All of the parts that are closest to the passenger and to the driver are sheathed in soft-touch materials, and then by using warm colors and rich materials, you can define the desired ambience that you want. Renault Talisman also offers very generous space for all occupants, especially in the rear, and seats that are at the very best level of comfort. It is at the height of the category in terms of roominess. It also stands apart in 3 fields. The headroom in the front as well as at the back, thanks to between the seat and the roof, which is 902 millimeters in the front, 855 millimeters in the rear, and there's a lot of space between the driver and the front passenger, and knee room in the rear, which is up to 262 millimeters. With more than 28 liters of storage spaces around the cabin, Talisman is really at the highest level in that field as well. So we know, of course, that quality is always a decisive criteria in this segment where the reference is German. Of course, how is Renault Talisman going to make the difference? Well, we worked extremely hard on quality for design as well as for perceived quality. We worked hand in hand with engineering, and we refined, fine-tuned each part, each technology, each detail. We worked to improve our finish and flush. We reduced gaps. We worked on the quality of materials. We made every part very robust. We worked on the haptic response of our buttons, the harmony of materials, of colors and light. And we also have screens that function seamlessly and simply. We've also paid special attention to the quality of assembly. So this time we really designed for quality, and all of these efforts have been thought through from the beginning and made for the well-being of our customers. The Talisman offers an interior that respects the cues of the segment. It has a very warm interior with great comfort. It's high quality, but it's also at the same time very resolutely modern and dynamic. So to sum up, Lawrence, what are you the proudest of on this car? Tell us. Well, I would say that with my team, we worked really hard, but with a lot of passion, with a lot of ambition, and we made a lot of effort, and we really wanted to make a success of this car. So if one of our future customers parks his car and looks back at it as he walks away with a lot of pride, we will have made a success. Thank you very much, Lawrence. I'm going to ask Mr. Ghosn to come back again, please, and I'll let you go back, Lawrence, to your seat. So Lawrence has told us about the very first distinctive element of this car, which is design, but he also touched upon the subject of comfort. Can you say a little more about this? Yes, of course. We wanted a very big, generous, and welcoming volumes, interior volumes, and of course we wanted to be at the best level of the category in terms of roominess, and that is the case, especially for legroom. We also have seats that are very comfortable with features that have massaging function and ventilation function. And Renault Talisman also has the biggest interior volume of its category in the cabin as well as in the boot and the storage spaces. We wanted this great level of comfort to make a very luxurious interior. Okay, what other types of comfort do you have? Well, yes, we do have also the best of our technologies. That's the best third distinctive element of this car. Thanks to the multi-sense, you can choose the kind of driving and the kind of ambience that you want. Multi-sense makes it possible to associate a four-wheel steer chassis with piloted dampers that filter out all the defects of the road surface, and this combination is unique on the segment and gives fantastic driving pleasure. Variable suspension brings comfort and suppleness, while at the same time the 4Control system gives you much better handling and steering of the car with great stability. Multisense also makes it possible to coordinate steering, engine, gear, the gearbox, onboard instruments, the engine sound, as well as the ambient lighting inside the car. You can, for example, act on steering wheel effort, the gear changes, and the responsiveness of the accelerator pedal. 4 pre-programmed settings are available, as well as one mode that is completely customizable, and each mode gives you very specific driving experiences. You should try it out for yourselves. Well, you know, I was able to try the multisense, says Margot Laffy. So it's something that I loved. One thing that I really liked was the avoidance maneuver. But of course, there are other features that you're going to talk about. Yes, you know, the piloting of multisense is done from the touch tablet of R-Link 2, which is the nerve center of the car, and R-Link 2 makes it possible to pilot all of the ADASs as well as the functionalities of life on board, from telephone to sat-nav, up to the 13 speakers that diffuse both surround sound, which is now already recognized as one of the best multimedia systems on the market. The R-Link 2 today has the biggest screen in its category, and it has the same touch functionalities as your tablet at home. And for more driving comfort and safety, most of the information can be also displayed in color on the heads-up display. It is also personalizable and connected up with several applications that have been specifically thought up for automotive usage. You'll be able to judge this for yourself soon. The Renault Talisman comes with style, with comfort, with customizable driving sensations, safety, and technology, while at the same time remaining faithful to its ecological commitments. Talisman has a ratio of performance consumption at the very best level of the market. So now, if we were to talk about engines, what can you tell us about the engines? Well, we have an offer at 95 grams of CO2 only, which is quite appreciable, on a D-segment sedan. And at we have 5 trim levels that are available, 2 petrol models and 3 diesel models that can all drive through an EDC automatic gearbox. They are all efficient engines that will guarantee our customers controlled emissions and fuel consumption. What about the sales of Renault Talisman? Well, it's going to be sold in France from the end of this year. And then in Europe, it's the 4th new model we're launching this year. And in 2015 and 2016, we will have launched 10 new models. This is an unprecedented product offensive in the history of the Renault Group. For the next step, I hope to see all of you at the Frankfurt Motor Show, where you will see the station wagon version of the Talisman. And that version will have the same advantages as the sedan in terms of design or technology. And of course, we will have a bigger interior volume in that car. But let's not go too fast. Thank you, Mr. Go. Now, before I let you come closer to this beautiful vehicle, I'm going to ask you to ask questions of Mr. Gone. The microphones are out there, so if you want to ask any questions, this is the time.
Une main levée, évidemment. Voilà, par ici, monsieur.